Hi lovers, welcome to my channel, Owamie. I was not really prepared to make this video, but I'm just making it now in my bed. I have a flu, and yeah, I just feel like having a chat with women because I was just recently watching Owamie's video, and I've been going through Madam Speaker's videos recently. So actually there's so much to learn from these two ladies. If you follow, because I've been following Owamie for years now, and I've been really listening to her divorce story, though I made time to go back also to the videos when she was very happy with her husband, and also a few reactions that she has made uh, in between, going back to the happy videos and saying here we were not happy, here we were not, and then I learned a few things from Owamie's marriage actually. Not only Owamie but also Madam Speaker together, these two ladies combined. And I think just apart from the experiences that they're putting out there, I picked up that maybe we must learn. And from last year, I've been having this thing at the back of my mind to say that looking at Owamie's videos when she was happy but she was still going through it, it told me that people are not gonna air their dirty laundries. So pay attention to divorced women. Pay attention to divorced men so that you learn. Do not listen to these women with, and also seems right. I was listening to seems right story, even though I didn't go too much deep into it, and I picked up that she was faking happiness for a while, and I picked up that don't listen to this. This is teaching us that don't listen to happy women in marriages, but or in relationships. Let us just keep it relationships. Listen to divorced women. Pay attention to divorced women. Why am I saying pay attention to divorced women? Because there's so much to learn from there. We live in a world where everybody wants to paint their relationship perfect. But what we should understand, I think, from a get-go is that you two are two people coming together in a relationship from different backgrounds, different personalities, different houses, whereby we have different upbringings. I think we must all put that at the back of our minds, being it women, being it men. Okay. Another thing, we must be very careful of social media, because social media is painting marriage to be so perfect that that we start doing comparisons. We start doing comparisons. Not only to avoid social media platforms or relationships that are painting this whole thing as if it's so perfect. I was listening now to Owamie, and I picked up that women, let us sometimes when we listen to other women giving their lessons from marriages or relationships, can we pay attention and learn from them? We must not judge them. Let us learn from them. Can we go easy? Let us take it easy on this love thing. Let us not just fall. Don't fall too much to the edge that even if you fall from your high horse, you are too completely broken. Can we leave a room for disappointment when we are in marriages or relationships? That is one thing that I've learned from this these women. I'm not saying do not allow yourself to love or be loved. Just be careful. I've learned to marry out of community of property because I listened to these two ladies, more especially Owamie and Madam Speaker. I've been listening to this lady for the past few years. Even my husband, my boyfriend then could go like, you are always listening to that lady. And I'm like, yes. There was a time that I told him that I'm listening to these two ladies, not because I am labeling them bitter and whatnot. I am labeling them women that have walked a journey that I did not walk yet. And I want to pick up, where did they go wrong? What happened wrong? How can I avoid it? Okay. So that we can be in a happy marriage. How can we avoid these mistakes that these people have made? All of us. If and I told my partner that if we are to pay attention, all of us, we will learn. But I picked up and I realized that in most cases, men are not interested in listening to these stories and learning. And one thing I've picked up, that a one-sided learn can only be you equipping a relationship. But if the other person is not learning together with you, there's imbalance. You get what I mean. There's imbalance. But we are not going to force people to listen to stories that we are coming across to and finding interesting, because they might not be interesting for them. But what we can do is learn and avoid mistakes. One thing that I've done from listening to these ladies is marrying out of community of properties. Madam Speaker comes with financial abuse. Owamie comes with, at the end of the day, when they divorce, she had to lose a specific things, which, let me just say, she lost a little bit more than the husband lost. And it must open our brain. How did it open my brain? And there was a day that I went on what is this guy's name? There was a Namibian name on a guy on Facebook. I forgot his name now, but he had a page where people used to put love stories and broken stories, and I had to, just sit back. And there was a day that somebody shared a story on a woman married her husband, and then her husband died. Yeah, her husband died in community of property. Her husband died. When the husband died, she got another partner, and then the woman died. They married in community of property, but she had 2 children. She married a man that she brought to their house, and then now there's a husband, a man now, husband, second husband, and children from the previous husband where the partner passed on, and they have and the wife. So what happens is that the wife ended up dying, and she's married in community of property with this guy. So what happened is that the guy married another woman in community of property, and then these 2 children that came from the other previous marriage were kicked out. At the end of the day, they were kicked out. They were not assisted with their school, nothing. What is teaching us, we must go back and say, what is the moral of these different stories? What I told you now, what Owamie is telling about her divorce story when it comes to in community of property, what Madam Speaker, who lost a house, they divorced, she lost a house, they have to go look for a different house. Literally, that was a home for their children. Now they have to sell the house and rent and start from scratch, just because someone is being irresponsible. I am not looking at people. I'm not looking at men's mistakes. this is a lesson for all of us, being it men, being it women. I am saying, what can we learn from this? Because at the back of our minds, all of us, when we are getting into situations, we must now say, what exactly everybody, all of us as parents, we are living for our children's today. We are living for our children's today to say that whatever we are building now is for our children's, not for us, because we are going to die one day. Because that is the norm, to say that normally when everybody is growing up, we grow up, we die, our children take over, our grandchildren's, like that. We are building wealth, or wealth for our family, our lines. You get what I mean? Now, just to break that story down, what I am trying to say is that now, what happens now if you are married in community of property? You are so much in love, no doubt about that, and then you die. When you die, your partner takes over. Okay? The partner again marries in community of property, and then your partner dies. Now both of you are dead. You have left your children behind, and you are married in community of property. That means you die, the property is equally belongs to the third person or to your new husband. Just like it's yours, it's the two of you. It equally belongs to him or her as much as it belongs to you. And then at the end of the day, your partner marries another woman in community of property, or another man, and then your children are left in the dust. People throw your children in the streets. I do not want to say I was woke by this lady just because of, at the end of the day, or things don't turn out the way you are. Either your partner falls out of love, or you fall out of love, you find somebody else interesting. At the end of the day, you break your vows to one another, or you are abusing each other to the extent that you cannot stand one another anymore, being it physically or financially, and you decide to end things. And what I do not like about divorce is that it does not allow you to live with how you were building your life. If you were completely reckless, you live with what you did not work hard for. And I think that is not the fair part of life. We must understand that we are not equal. We are not going to be equal in life. How you think is not the way the other one thinks. And that is what makes life interesting. How you live your life is not the way your partner lives their life. How you spend money is not the way they spend money. How you are growing the future might not be the way your partner might grow life. So we must understand that we are coming together with our differences, and it's okay. You are not gonna fall in love with a person that is like you, because chances are you are not even perfect. The partner is also just relating you. Now, out of community of property, can we think carefully before we enter into these commitments? Because I personally, when I look at in community of property, to me it's a scam. It's a complete scam. I don't care whether I have to marry a millionaire one day, not marry a millionaire. I don't care in my rightful mind. Even if I find myself one day with a millionaire, whatever, I'm not interested in community of property. I believe in we come together. When we come together, we build for our children, not for us. Even if you, when you die, leave your assets to your children. Me, when I die, let me leave my assets to my children so that they don't suffer, so that they grow from there. However, I'll make another video. I think I need to make a video on on how our children must also learn to take care of assets, because we are losing assets just because of strangers that we are meeting. You meet a stranger, you get married, you marry in community of property, you divide. Now imagine, I do not want to think of the sadness of a story of Madam Speaker, whereby she's walking out of a house that she has been paying bonds for, just to be in the streets because the only mistake that she made, or the only crime that she committed, is falling in love with a man. Now she is walking out of the house with the children's. And what breaks my heart is knowing and looking at this story and be like, but this woman, she she actually grew, or what, worked so hard for the children as a mother. And a man, I'm like, men are so careless, so heartless. I do not want to label all men heartless, but this one in particular is heartless, because how on God's green earth would you want your own blood, your own children's, to go out of the house just because of a divorce, instead of just making a decision and say, look, those are my children's, they cannot go in the streets. If we are breaking up, since you have been paying for the bond, not a problem, can I go and you can stay in the house with the children's? um you know um but that never happened. People had to walk out of the house with the children to go rent. um you know as a mother, that is heartbreaking. So can we learn to think, women, that not only women, but let me talk to women in particular now. I also want men to learn from these mistakes, because I have a son. Not only because I have a son, but men are human beings too, and I want them to learn. um Really honestly, I don't think um income this thing of in community of property, I think we must get away with it, because it's a scam. It's a scam. Maybe we must start, if you want to make your intentions clear, write wills and testimonies, leave things clear. But this thing of just, you are married, next thing you are losing in love, I do not understand it. It's like daylight robbery, where you are robbed, you fall in love, the next thing you are losing assets. And I don't like that. I don't think that is one thing that I've learned from these whole two ladies, that we must be very careful within community of property. To me, it's a scam. And it's not something that must um, make us think, no, we are not going to love ourselves more with our partners. We can still love ourselves, irregardless of if we are to um, take off our clothes and be completely naked of assets, of everything. What are we to one another with our partners without this money? We must learn to love each other deeply from their hearts, not because of what we own. um Another thing that I've learned from these ladies is that I went back to all of them. Fair enough, I went back to all of them, and I went back to their videos before, or when they were uh, married, or the pictures. I think Madam Speaker wasn't on Facebook, on YouTube before her divorce. She came with a divorce story. Owamie, she has been here. I went back, and this is what I picked up from everything: self love. And I am so happy that Madam Speaker is pushing for self love. Self love. Can we love ourselves even during marriages? Can we love ourselves? Can we put ourselves first? We cannot pour from empty cups. That is what I learned from these two ladies. That can we love ourselves first? Before you even say, I am going to love my husband, I am going to love my children, can we love ourselves, so that we don't pour from, is it pour from empty cups. Ne? Can we do that? What I've done personally is that there are moments that physical looks, I picked up that sometimes as women we carry so much on our shoulders that we give up on ourselves completely. I am telling you that you feel good when you look good. And not always, I mean, you cannot be looking good 24/7. Nobody does that. Not even on TV. It's just because that is not a normal life. Nobody does. But when you can you take care of yourself? I told myself that every month, and I did this because when I gave birth to my baby, I decided to exclusively breastfeed him for 6 months, and I continued giving him breast milk. That really is taking too much of my time, and it's taking too much of my time. Trust me, I don't have time for myself. So it's work, home, a baby. And I told myself that I need to rest. I used to go to the choir. I used to be on Sundays every Sunday. But I told myself that I'm not anti-Christian. I did not move backwards from loving my God. But I told myself that can other activities wait? So that I can also make time for myself, and then I'll find these activities later because I have a responsibility now that is a little baby that needs more of my attention. So I can go to work so that I am able to provide for my baby, so that I am able to take care of myself, and other things can wait because I need to rest. I need to exercise where I can. I need to take care of myself, and I need to take care of a baby, and I have a husband. So we must learn to let go of specific things that our time is so limited. We must make time for ourselves. And I took this off to say that I need me, and I'm not going to go crazy. I need me so that I don't pour from an empty cup. What did I learn from these ladies? What I learned from these ladies is we cannot be women married, but we are not taking care of ourselves. I made a monthly thing to put aside to say that from the expenses that I'm going to pay, I make facial deep cleansing every month. I make deep full body massage every month. I do my nails, and that makes me feel good. Just for every month, I take one few hours just away from home just to take care of myself. We must not neglect ourselves in the process of taking care of other people. A child needs a happy mother. A husband too needs a happy wife. You cannot just be so drowning in things. I had to cut off my hair because I was like, no, I cannot do this. I need to relax. I cannot be combing hair every morning. Let me cut off and relax, and then I can take care of myself and take care of the baby when I can. I'll grow the hair later. I grew my hair later once I'm done after 3 months or so. So really, can we look at other? I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying I am a learn in progress. We are learning. We are learning from these women. We are truly, honestly learning from these women. Okay. What else did I learn? Because I picked up that when I looked at went back, I'm like, we do not really honestly take care of ourselves, being it looks. And I told myself, there was a time that I didn't even buy clothes in a very long time. I told myself, I'm taking money aside to buy clothes. I'm taking money aside, and that makes me happy. I'm like, this makes me happy. I did not buy clothes in a very long time, but now I feel like, I feel good when I'm buying clothes. Buy clothes. Take care of yourself. Take care of your looks, because there is body changes that might not, and we must also be comfortable with the changes that life brings to us. You get a baby, you're not gonna look like you don't have a baby. The body changes, and you are gonna go back to normal. Later on, not immediately, more especially the mothers that chooses to breastfeed. Because for you to breastfeed, you are about milk making machine. You need to eat. And eating comes with body gains. So we must be open for changes and accommodate them. We must understand that it's okay not to be okay at some point in time. Another thing that I've noticed is that we cannot live our lives depending on men's compliments on us. I like how men live their life. Have you seen so many men that are so not taking care of their health with their bellies that are this big, and they don't care about their women's opinions on how they look? Men do not care about women's opinions on how they look. They live their life. And there comes us women who are in jail of men's opinions. A man says, because I was just listening now to Owamie's video on self-esteem. And I was like, the way we allow men to, compliment us so much and we live based on what they tell us that we should look like is not right. And I am learning, but this is not right. We must live happily because we are happy, not because our men thinks we should we should look in a specific way. Because in most cases, men don't care about women's opinions on how they look. Trust me. But as women, we must always be considerate of how, for as long as you know you are dressed decent. We are not saying you must walk around not dressed decent. For as long as you are dressed as decent as you can and you look as good as you can, go ahead. Really, honestly, the other lessons that I also picked up from this whole thing is that we have house assistants. As women, most of the time we have house assistants, more especially when you get a child. But even if you don't have a child and you feel like you need a house assistant, get a house assistant. This thing of being a woman, my husband must eat my food. What if I am also coming from work? You are also coming from work. We are all tired. Equally so. You are sitting in a sofa. Me as a woman, I must come from another job to come and break my neck. Here is a baby waiting for me to breastfeed. When I'm going to sleep again, like when do women rest? Think of yourself and say it's okay for an assistant to assist me with some of the chores in the house. If she's gonna cook, it's okay. Train her enough to cook the food that is eatable by your husband also. Also, men cheating, because I was listening to, just like I said, I was listening to Owamie's video that just came out now in a few minutes. Men cheating. Why am I talking about men cheating? Because Owamie's situation was the man cheated on her and then she left a marriage. Okay, men cheating is not, and then she had all these low self-esteem. Men cheating is not up to you. And one thing that I picked up also is that last year I decided to park my car and take taxis towards the end of the year, because fuel went up and I have one project that I want to work on that needs more of my money and my attention. When I started taking taxis, I started engaging in different conversations with men here and there, because men drives taxis. And I picked up that not only do men cheat, women are cheating on their husbands. And I was so shocked to realize that we label men as cheaters, but women too are cheating. And I just made that a point to say that can we not only look at men with an eye for cheating, because I picked up, really honestly, women are cheating on their husbands. Women are just good at keeping their dirty laundries very secret that most of the men don't figure out, don't find out. But women are cheating. But why did I bring this up? Because I want to make it a thing to say that, can we understand that our partners cheating on us, or us cheating on our partners, is really not on our partner. It's on us. It's a decision that we make, and we must understand that in a union or in a relationship, there are stages. There are stages where you are so much in love, and then there are stages where you just feel like you are annoying one another, but you have to live with one another because you married one another. And there are moments where you can't stand one another, and there are moments where you are happy. Marriages have stages, just like relationships have stages, and it's about time we put this out there, that it's not gonna be happiness every day. It's not gonna be, it's that some days you are going to be like angry or not want to talk to one another or not want to see one another. But it's a commitment that you made to one another, that through thick and thin. But one thing that I want to say out here is that our partners cheating on us, or you cheating on your partners, really have nothing to do with your partner. Let us put it in our brains to say that it really have got nothing to do with our partners. And it's about time we make that, we put it in our brain so that it does not affect our self-esteems in any way. Okay? I am not making a comment on men cheating. I'm just put on women cheating. I am putting it out there that it's really honestly not our partner's fault that we are cheating on them or they are cheating on us. Okay. Another thing also that I've learned out of Owamie specifically story is that Owamie, there were times where she would go on with in-laws, ne? She have touched on in-laws, and I want to touch on in-laws specifically to say that I listened to her and I've learned one thing. One, you can be with your partner, but your partner might be the one gossiping you outside with the in-laws. At the end of the day, the in-laws don't like you. That can be the case. Or the in-laws just like stories. Or you can get the good in-laws. Number one, can we be good wives or good partners to our partners? Good husbands to our partners, that we must not be problematic to our in-laws. Why am I saying this? Because we are carrying babies, and those babies are those people's family members. We are not here to stay forever. One day you are gonna die, and you do not know who you are going to live with your children. Okay? That is just the sad truth. So let us try to be as nice as we can with people. But some people are just a pain in the neck. This is one thing that I've learned from Owamie's stories. Stay in your lane as much as you can. Avoid staying in the in-laws' houses. Before you even say, yes, I do not go to be a struggling couple there. Try to work hard first and be financially free, that you can make your house far from them. See each other once in a while, but be in your line. Men, allow your women to go and make your houses far from your in-laws. Your family members can be a problem. That really stops a whole lot of dramas, because you see each other just once in a while, and when you miss one another, no one have time to misbehave. But some people are more problematic, that they can even look for you on your phone, or they can come and look for you at your workplace, or they can come and look for you wherever you are, just to cause dramas. Here is what I've learned from these whole stories. Never pin a man or a woman against their family members. But in most cases, it's the in-laws of men that are problematic. Never pin a man or your men against their family members. Where I am saying the person comes to attack you. If a person comes to attack you, handle them there and there, head on head. And then you keep quiet about it. Don't go say, whoever did this to me, I handled them. Just handle them there on there, head on head. You keep quiet about it. Keep your evidence. Let them be the one to go and gossip at your husband if they like gossiping so much. When your husband comes to you to say, oh, whoever is complaining, then you just say, oh, no, I actually handled them. I didn't want to trouble you with this because I thought it was not too much of a big deal, but this is what happened. See? Give evidence. And then your husband from there would know, oh, okay. Do not pin him against his family member whereby somebody comes for you, you go talk to him. This one did this to me. Now you expect him to go and fight your battle for you. Be very mindful. Those are his people. Those are his people, and those are the people that he grew up with. They are his family members. They are his blood. The only people that he truly have as family members, apart from you as a wife. And trust me, we all need our family members. Because now the person will fight their family members just because of they came to you. I understand we are all gonna be like, no, he must protect me. But sometimes we put many in difficult situations. Can we avoid it? If somebody comes for you, you are within your right to defend yourself. Speak up for yourself. Head on head, handle them. I don't care who they are. Handle them right there. There was Owamie's video that she shared on big guy trashing his mother. And also I've watched a few video whereby Owamie is reacting and also trashing the family members of the other person. This is one thing that I've learned from this whole situation. Can we keep some of the things to ourselves? See, all of us. Not everything is for the partner's ears. You have a small fallout with your mother. Here you are in your partner's ears. My mother did me. You are gossiping your mother to your partner. Your sister did a small thing. Here you are in your partner's ears. She did this to me. Your sister told you a secret. You do not keep secrets. Eh? You are here to iron dirty laundries of your family members to your partner. Can we have boundaries? He is your partner. Those are your people. That even if you divorce today here, you are going to go back to them. Now, when you two are breaking up, when you do not understand one another, you are airing out your dirty laundries. Your sister is like this. Your sister is like this. Your mother is like this. Yeah, that's why your family members also don't like you. That's why you see it comes because you are saying out too many things. Learn to keep specific things to yourself. There are moments really whereby you need comfort on specific advices. We are not saying we must not seek for advice or mention our situations where we need each other's support. That's a different story. But general things of too much gossips, maybe we can get away from it to avoid unnecessary dramas. What else did I want to talk on? I wanted to discuss something that just came in my brain now, and I don't know where it went. We're busy talking of ironing out dirty laundries of family members. Something came in my brain. I think it slipped out. But it's okay if it comes as I speak. I will touch on it. These are lessons. These are lessons because I picked up that most of us, when we are separating, we say so much. We say so much. We share so much details on our partners. And yeah, we must learn, or else we will keep making the same mistakes. Also, when we love one another, can we leave room for disappointments so that we cannot just hit the ground so much that it's so difficult for us to get up? You know, also we must also, as partners, know what really breaks a marriage. Even the Bible itself has clearly indicated on when can two people separate, more especially on infidelities. Can we all know that I am getting into this union, but if I do ABC, I can be left, so that we avoid such mistakes? All of us, not only a man, but a woman as well. Can we all avoid these things if you truly know that this is a union and you want to be in it forever? Let us all know that, okay, if I do ABC, we might separate. Also, in laws, can we learn, like most of us are mothers of sons? Can we learn not to be problematic when our sons grow up and they're bringing us children, what their wives later? Can we learn to respect people's decisions to choose wives for themselves, and then we stay in our lanes? There is power in showing respect to a person. In most cases, people treat us the way we are treating them. In-laws, I do not understand, more especially from the husband's point of view. Those people, they are so entitled. The way they treat people is way too much like trash. Can we stop it? Because at the end of the day, more especially if you start dramas when people are not even married already, you are already dramatic. What happens when these people get married? Remember, these people are going to give birth to children that are going to be your family members. How are you going to be with those children? What if you find yourself in a situation where you are not even talking to people and they are children and you want close to the children, but just because you are not talking to people, you are dramatic, you created dramas long time ago that is stopping you from spending time with your nieces, with your own babies. Let us stop being dramatic, because this life is way too long, and we in life people need one another. But can we listen to these stories to learn? I've really picked up that can we learn? And one thing that I've noticed is that can we learn to take care of ourselves as women or as men? All of us, can we take care of ourselves even in this union of a marriage? We cannot be married and not take care of ourselves. We are not saying we must live as single people. We are in relationships and we must respect each other's opinions and everything. But can we live? Can we take care of us? Make time for everything. Make time for yourself. In a day after you come from work, you make time for your children. Can you just make time for yourself? Find activities that makes you happy. And be mindful of how much time those activities are taking from you, but also make sure that you also just make time for yourself. Making time for yourself, I'm not talking about activities where you are going to the friends, you are going to. Oh yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. It's even good that I brought friends. What I learned from this whole situation, more especially Owamie, there was a point where she said, I didn't have friends. He was my only friend and lover. This is the point that I forgot. Marriage, this thing of my husband, my children's only, This thing of my wife, my children's only, my people, can we refrain from it? We need one another. With family members, we need one another. With friends, we cannot be whole again only with our partners and our children's. We need someone to talk to. Sometimes you need somebody to talk to who is not your partner, like a friendly advice from your best friend or from your friends. That's why in most cases, even this topic of saying, you cannot be friends with unmarried people, because I think that can be a topic for another day. Because a person is just a person. For as long as the person is behaving correctly, the person have a proper brain, the person have a good heart, the person meets the criteria of a good friend. We are not talking about those bad friends whereby you go, you are drinking until the next day morning, where you go, you drink, you are not picking up your partner's phone, whereby you go, you come back after 5 days, whereby you go and we are not talking about such people that will make you abuse your home. We are talking about good friends with order. Good friends with order that still respect your home. That still goes like, yo, it's late, go back home. That still goes like, let us continue tomorrow. The friends that goes like, we can just go for lunch quickly. It's okay, it's late, you can go home. Let's see each other tomorrow. And I'm talking about both sides, women and men. We need one another with our family members. We need one another with our friends, being it our sisters, our friends, and everything. And also, just to talk about finances also, I do not like the fact that in-community of property puts you in a prison, whereby, let me say for instance, we are all done with taking care of everything in the house. We contribute to our water bills. You bring what you bring to the table. I bring what I bring to the table. Because we are in this union, we must all contribute to the expenses at hand. We depending on how much money each gets. Of course, it can never be equal, because people don't get paid the same. Some cases you find that men gets paid too much. Sometimes you find that women gets paid too much. But this thing of I earn more than who must not really define a marriage. A marriage, you come together, whoever earns what, you bring your contributions to the table. And then we are left with our spare money. That spare money, you can do with it whatever you want. Being it, if a family member says, look, I need $100 quickly. Even family members, I'm talking about your mother, your father, your sisters, your children's nieces, and somebody says, I please need $100. And here you are, I'm quickly going to ask my husband. I'm quickly going to ask my wife. No. Unless it's a material money that needs all of our attention. I don't like that prison of money. I don't like it. It doesn't give us freedom of movement. That in-community of property nonsense. Because if everybody is done with their responsibilities, then you have money left. You must have freedom of spending. You must have freedom of spending to say, okay, I have this left money. Okay, I'm done with my responsibilities for the month. Okay, what must I do? Do we have a goal that we are working together towards, or are we done? Then we are all free. Oh, can you please give me $500? I'm going to give it to tomorrow. Here. Not to say I'm going to ask my partner, I'm going to have a discussion, I'm going to, what type of a prison is, maybe you must think of in-community of property very well. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like it's prison. Imagine your own mother asking you for money and you have to go to your wife to go ask, my wife, can I give my mother? What type of a nonsense is that? Your mother raised you for years. She paid for your school fees. She fed you. She everything. Now you must come to a whole wife to ask if you can help your mother or not. I don't like it. No. For as long as you are done with the house responsibilities, we are free. For as long as you are done with the house responsibilities, you are free. to use your money, just not in irresponsible ways. If you are drinking, drink responsibly. If you are doing what, do it responsibly. But at the end of the day, you are truly free. People, we must give each other freedom. Marriage is not prison. I think that is where we are limiting one another too much. I really felt the need to iron on a few topics that I really picked up. Also, I think I remember a few. Let us allow each other to be adults in relationships. There's no a baby in a relationship or in a marriage. I'm going back to Owamie's videos, not only Owamie's videos, but also Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker didn't really go too much deep, or maybe I'm just missing her points. She did not really go too much deep into the financial abuse. But I'm just here to say, if a man gets himself, if people are getting themselves in trouble, can they back themselves up? You know, one thing I noticed about men, they know what they want in life. And it's about time us as women also learn to know what we truly want in life. More especially financial wise. You cannot live in a world where your partner, this goes both ways, whether it's a woman or a man, whereby your partner keeps getting himself or herself into financial crisis, and you must be the one to back that person up all the time. When is that person going to learn? That person won't learn. That person will continue abusing you financially because they know even if I get a loan here, you are going to cover it. Even if I mess up here, you are going to cover it. So it's about time us as partners in relationships, all of us, we wake up and go like, no, we are adults. We are not here to mother and father one another. We are here, two adults that comes together to take care of each other. I think that really is and there's a point that Madam Speaker made, and I've noticed that most of the time Owamie is like, he was treated like this as a child, so maybe we take these things of childhood trauma or traumas. If we are not careful, people are going to abuse us. People are going to abuse us and go like, aha, now you know that I've suffered ABC, you know I have these weaknesses, you understand. So they do these things and you're like, no, it's okay, it's because of ABC. And this goes always, women, men. It is our responsibility to take care of our childhood traumas so that we don't keep bleeding on people that did not cut us. I think this is a video that is a little bit too long. It's going to almost an hour now. Let me wrap up. I actually just had to cover this so that can we, because we also want marriages to last. We also want love. Love is a beautiful thing. So I realize that these women are sharing their stories, but in most cases, instead of us learning from their stories, all of us, men and women, we are too quick to judge them. You are bitter. You are just not forgiving their husband. You are just, no. When are we going to learn? All of us. When are we going to learn? When are we going to learn? We need to learn. Seems right also have a lesson, as in to say that she has been abused physically, but she stayed hoping things would get better. Things don't get better when they start abusing you the first time. Act accordingly. Either you give them a verbal warning from the police first time. If they do it the second time, go, my friend. That person will not stop beating you. It's about you to think. How are you going to handle this thing? We are not saying stay, live if you are comfortable, but at the end of the day also you live when your heart is ready to live. We are just saying we all have a lesson to learn from anywhere. You might also stay hoping things will get better, get better. Next thing you see, you are beaten every day. Oh my goodness, we cannot just imagine. But really, honestly, all of these ladies have got lessons where we can learn. They might be there might be, why am I sharing these three ladies? I'm sharing more especially Madam Speaker and and Owamie. I am sharing them because most Owamie have ironed her divorce story so much that you pick up from different areas. You pick up, oh, I must be careful here. I must not do this here. Because I remember even her husband went in jail for a while, and I remember not a while, but for some time. I don't know whether once or two times. And then she was like trying to cover up. And I'm just like, you learn from other people's stories to say that, okay, here, should I find myself in this situation? How do I handle it? Should I find myself in this situation? How do I handle it? And we must learn so that our relationships, we help our relationships last. And when you know you cannot do it anymore, I mean, nobody should be stuck up in a marriage whereby you are not happy, whereby it's killing you inside. But what I'm saying is that, can we create rooms for all these disappointments? Can we close loopholes for some of these disappointments, hoping that, if we avoid all these things, all of us, men and women, then maybe we can help relationships last. If you feel you are being financially abused, can you close the loopholes while it's early? These things of incommunity of property, can we look at it very nicely? Because money, when not taken care of, can break a home. Not only a home, even the relationships between family members and friends. Thank you very much for watching. I have a flu, but I had to cover this while it was fresh because I just finished watching Owamie's video, and I'm like, oh, I think instead of us just talking about or listening, we must take the lessons and share. What did we learn from these two ladies? What are the lessons? Owamie now have a beautiful SUV, but she could also have spoiled herself and buy a nice expensive car in her marriage. But she couldn't because there were specific restrictions. Can we be free even in marriages to say, you get paid this, I get paid this, we come together, we cover our expenses, but after we cover our expenses, let us fly. Let us see how we can grow. Let us spoil ourselves. So that we are more happier. We cannot just live to pay bills. No. But once we are done paying bills, the money that we are left with, can we spoil ourselves rather than everything is in the same basket? Or if you are now choosing to put everything in the same basket and you are all bringing in equal, or you are not going to be threatened or feeling anyway, can you spoil yourselves accordingly? Okay? But I'm really not for in-community of property. If you see the advantages of in-community of property, please bring them down. I don't see them. I don't like in-community of property. Not at all. I don't like it. I stopped liking in-community of property back in the days when our elders back in the days used to traditionally, when you marry, it does not matter whether you work or you don't work, the family of the husband, they just come and take all the resources, leaving you and your children in the streets. It does not matter whether you are a teacher or a nurse. They just come and take everything. The next thing, you are out there suffering with your children as if you never worked. So from just looking at how women used to be treated back in the days whereby you are working, and the family members of husbands, when their child dies, they just come and take everything. I never liked in-community of property. From the growing up in my brain, I was like, I don't like in-community of property. If you die, let your family come and take what you own and leave my assets. That's how I've been taking it. And I don't care whether you are rich like what. I've been taking it to say that I am going in with what I have, and I am building with what I have for my children. Build what you have for your children. Let us meet there. But anyways, please kindly, if you also have listened to them, Tell me, what have you learned from their stories? If you haven't listened to them, maybe you must go and listen to their stories. They quite have got very beautiful lessons. They quite have got very, very beautiful lessons. And also the danger, another danger that I picked up of in community of property is when one day on Madam Speaker's Stories, there was a woman who married in community of property, and the husband had children outside marriage, and the other women put in support. So, when another woman put in support for your house and you are married in community of property, and sometimes men are so reckless, they like giving birth here, left, right, center before they get married. And, those children, they when you marry in community or property, when you're with your partner, those children are equally entitled to your money, just as much as they are entitled to your partner's money, because it's their money. They are your children's. Now, I was listening to the story of the woman. What is this? They put in support, and they were like, it was too much expensive, like paying 8,000 each. And when they divorced, she ended up, even when she's divorced, supporting one child. Husband supporting one child, she's supporting one child. Then she's saying, not even my own children goes to schools where I spend 8,000 per month, but I am paying that amount for another woman's child. Just because I married a man, I married in community of property, and the people put in support, and then I am stuck. So maybe we must be careful of in community of property, that even if somebody go and start impregnating the whole community and you are not ready to leave that marriage, trust me, those children are entirely entitled to your assets, then they are entitled to their partner's money. So if that woman decides, I'm going to put support so that you support your children, you, from your salary, you will be paying support. Trust me. So let us analyze some of these things before we get involved into them, and let us close all the loopholes so that at the end of the day we are not completely broken because of love. Love is a beautiful thing, and it's not supposed to break us. It's not supposed to make us feel empty or feel broken to certain extents. Let us learn, let us avoid mistakes, and let us close loopholes. We couldn't and we wouldn't have learned this from our parents back in the days, because most of our parents back in the days, they didn't experience all these things, more especially financial abuse, because we grew up in areas whereby the woman stays at home, the man works, the man is a provider only. We didn't have these movements of cash like that. So please let us be a little bit more careful, and let us close all the loopholes so that we can try to keep our relationships, or stay more in relationships rather than breaking up. We are still learning. Let us continue listening to other women that are breaking up, that are coming out of marriages, so that we learn. Do not listen to people that are faking perfection in their relationships. Listen to divorced women, or divorced men. You have so much to learn from them. Okay? Until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.